Hi YouTube, it's Kathy. Today I'm going to share my TBR list for BookTube-A-Thon, which is happening next week, July 18th through 24th. Now, BookTube-A-Thon I just heard of recently, and my understanding is you're supposed to read 7 books in 7 days, and then they have a challenge for you as to what kind of books you're supposed to read, just to make it more fun. I looked at that and went, there's no way I can read 7 full novels in 7 days, but I can definitely read 7 graphic novels in 7 days. So I went to my local library and I picked out books that fit each of these categories. The first challenge was to pick a book with yellow on the cover, so I picked Rascal the Drift by Jeff Smith. This one looks beautiful inside, and it's the beginning of a sci-fi series, so I'm excited to see what is going on in this new world. The second challenge was something to be read after dark, so it seemed only fitting that I would pick a Buffy novel. This one would have taken place in the 9th season if the TV show continued on. I haven't read all of the way up to this point, but I have read some, so it seems like something I should be able to drop into fairly easily. The next challenge was to pick something that you heard about on BookTube, so I picked up Alex and Ada by Jonathan Luna and Sarah Vaughan. This one I learned about from Lex over at Rhyme of the Books, possibly on her previous channel, possibly on Goodreads, or possibly on our Facebook group for women that like comic books. I honestly can't remember where she told me about this, but it just stuck in my mind and seemed like a perfect option. I also made sure to pick up the first volume because I haven't read it before. The next challenge was to pick up a book by an author that you really like, and I really like Stephen King. I in fact have a Stephen King tattoo, so I picked up the first edition of The Stand. Now The Stand I haven't actually read in full before. I'm listening to the audiobook, but the audiobook is 48 hours long, so it's taking me a while. Again, I made sure to pick up a volume at the beginning because I haven't read all of The Stand and I don't want it spoiled for me. The next challenge was to pick a book that is older than you, and that's a little bit of a problem when you're going for graphic novels and you're doing so at the library. So I cheated a little bit on this one. I picked up Unwritten Orpheus in the Underworld, and this one I haven't read before and it's in the middle of a series, but I figure the Orpheus story is very, very old, and I'm just picking up that aspect of it as the being older than me. Comic books that are older than me are collector's items, and you're really generally not going to find them at the library. The next challenge was to read a book and watch a film based on that book, so I picked up The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I've read the book before, but it's been a few years, so I'm excited to see it in graphic format. And at the library I also picked up the Blu-ray of the movie, which I haven't seen yet, so it will be neat to see it in all of these different formats. So the last challenge was just to read 7 books, so this was basically your freebie to choose as you see fit, and I chose Charlaine Harris's Gravesite. I haven't read any Charlaine Harris before. I've seen the name many, many times before while working at a bookstore and working at a library, but I have not actually seen any of her graphic novels before. I haven't read any of her actual books that this character is based on, but from my understanding it's quite popular. What are you reading next week for BookTube-A-Thon? Let me know down in the comments below. On the way down in the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. Like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you later. Bye!